in the morning. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, and drink. Grab your bottle of that water. Take your glass of that water. Lift the cap off your water. Lift and pour some water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, and drink. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Just move your body. Drink. What should I say? Move, and drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Bam, just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then. So take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. Breathe, live, move, toast. Take your breath. Live and move. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Break down. Drink up with me, family. Drink for your health. Almost a total failure. I couldn't even get all the water down. Didn't get my hair picked. But it's one of those days. It's one of those days. Alright, so we had a successful mall event. I'm still working on the newsletter. So I'm already behind on that piece right there. Well, family, we trying to bring it to you. Trying to get everything together. We got the Malcolm X coming up, the MX Fest, Malcolm X Revolutionary Festival coming up. We got another mall in April. Got a lot of bugs to work out, a whole lot of bugs, because don't like the aftershock of the mall, because like I said, there's a lot of work, and you put a lot of skin in the game and stuff like that, and shit just starts. But that's life, right? But we do have a show tonight. Because I need to switch the meeting. We need to have our Malcolm X meeting, move it over. And I need to find out, because it might be another meeting tonight. Here we go. So, let's do this, family. We have the show Folk Tales for Grown Folks tonight. Let's see what Aesop has for us. Alright, this one is called The Viper and the File. I don't know what a file is, so we might have to look that up. A lion entering the workshop of a smith. Okay, I do know what a file is. A lion entering a workshop of a smith sought from the tools the means of satisfying his hunger. He more particularly addressed himself to a file and asked of him the favor of a meal. The file replied, "You must indeed be a simple-minded fellow if you expect to get anything from me, who am accustomed to take from everyone and never give anything in return." Damn. Hold on. Oh, man, I didn't announce. I'm sorry. The black signal just went out. So give me a second to rewind. Alright, let's do this. I am going to, because I got to get the, what is it called? Actually, that's a pretty good proverb. I can work with that. The viper and the file. I don't know why they call it the viper and the file rather than the lion and the file. Maybe there's a mistake in the title. I don't know. I think there's a mistake in the title. A lion entering the workshop of a smith sought from the tools the means of satisfying his hunger. He more particularly addressed himself to a fowl and asked of him a favor of a meal. The fowl replied, "You must indeed be a simple-minded fellow if you expect to get anything from me, who am accustomed to take from everyone and never give anything in return." So go and think about that one for the night. We'll have that one for the discussion. I think that one was mistitled. Brother Kwame said a file is analogous to the desert of 2,000 seasons. I gotta go and read the 2,000 seasons, I guess, because Kwame gonna keep on pushing that book. So I got to read 2,000 seasons. I think we might need to meet tomorrow, and I gotta call Brother Renee tonight. I was supposed to call him yesterday. I wasn't able to. It's just all right. So here we go. All right, let me finish my water, then we're gonna do our toast. But we got the story for the night. I'm working on a newsletter. Brother Kwame got a story in there, or an article in there. Brother the Traveler, Brother D, got one up in there. Brother Quasi Lowe got one up in there. And, so we're just going to build like that. So let me finish this water. When is the next article due? The third Kuumba of April. We could just we'll set the due date for the articles 1 week before we could actually set the date of the article for the day of the market, the mall. We'll set it for the day of the mall because I don't want to put it out till after the mall so that we can have interviews with some of the participants in the mall, right? All right. So we got our drink on. Add Oscar Kane to the list and Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols. Hold on. Shouts out to brother Quasi Low. I read your article, man. Some good work. All right, let's see. Anybody that want to get information on this, we could do that as well. Oscar Kane. Audrey. Gripper. Dominique Nichols. Got him. All right, here we go. First, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call it. Creator, we lift up our glass and we salute that Creator, calling that great energy into the room, becoming conscious of this energy that flows all around us and bless us and protect us in all things. We lift up our glass to that Creator and we say, Ashe. All right, family. From there, we move on and we lift up our glass. We lift up our glass and we call on our illustrious ancestors. We say, Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Joseph William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fee, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittmanell, No More Eggs, Pet, Mount Rob, Malika Fakua, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Broford, Actor Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Annis Harris, William Bill Morris, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley, and the Luxor Brothers, Miss Edith Brooke Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDonald, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Anna Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Randerman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sir Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Argosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Poetry Don, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keisha Larice, Linda Washington Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sergeant Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Banks, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W.S. Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Henry Levester, Mae Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Bina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillamon Aries, Gina Roop Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Perez, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John May Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Lise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Inez Bastic, Edna Bostic. Can't never take my face off, my eyes off the page. Oh, God. Edna Bostic, Winfrey Scannerberry, Wilson Headley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Sprouting, Kevin Sprouting, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee, Print Up Jr., Miriam Johnson. We belong, Maida Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Archie Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gaston, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Cleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Becca Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin Andrew Baker, Patricia Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimmel Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Sr., Melly Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Monahan Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Molly, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earleton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Mira Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Elzella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rachel Easy, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mesrin Cofer, George Swan, Emmanuel Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. Man, the list so long that my screen go off. I love it. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundup, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joey, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacy Trice, Denisa Gorey, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid Isin, also known as Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Albert Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols. We lift up our glass and salute to all of our ancestors that combine us, make us stronger, protect us. You know what I'm saying? We throw those glasses up and we say, Ashe. From their family, we move to the present moment, lifting up our glass to this moment because this moment is all we have. And we need to use it to shine, to lay the foundation for our children, to do the best that we can, right? To strive to do the best that we can. So we lift up our glass in this moment and we say, well, my fault, we don't say Ashe yet because we got to go on and lay it down, right? Family, think about this. Activate those reticular formation. The day is Kujichagulia, the greatest day of the week, right? Shouts out to all my Kujichagulia babies, right? We lift up our glass. So for those that don't understand, reticular formation is that part of our brain that allows us to be able to focus in on stuff and find it, right? So we want to find Kujichagulia because we take time every day to at least look and try to find at least our principles at least once a day, right? We got to start learning to look for what we want. The principles in English is self-determination. The myotic principle of the day is justice. The color is indigo. Correspondence is the hermetic law of the day. The male energy for the day. The male name is Kwabena. Shouts out to all those Kwabenas out there. And female name is Abinas. Shout out to all Abinas. So, like I said, right now we running the toast. We got Navita's Albina, Gina's Albina, Tiandra's Albina. I'm a Kwabena. It's 4 of us, right? Y'all need y'all Quasis and y'all need to get y'all numbers up. That's all I'm saying. Don't take it the wrong. Just get your numbers up, right? Because right now, Kujichagulia running it, right? I'm just saying. We lift up our glass in this moment to empower this moment. And, also say that, us Kujichagulia born, we just running it right now. So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, we move to our children, our children's children, on to infinity family. Remembering that we have a pact in the present moment with our ancestors as well as those yet to be born. So we do everything that we can to make sure that they are here, including remember them in advance, right? We lifting up our glass so that they will be able to lift their glasses up for us. We lift up our glass to our children, our children's children, unto infinity, and we say, I say, family, where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? We go to all of our relations, lifting up our glass. And we say, I say, from all of our relations, we move on to that selfish libations. It's up for you, right? This toast for you. What is it that you need in this moment to move on to the next level? Take it higher, right? Be the best in this moment. What is it? We toast and we say, Ashe. Last but not least, family, I lift up my glass to the most beautiful, magnificent, uplifting, inspiring individual in the room. You know what that is? You. Lift up my glass to you, and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, we'll see you tonight for the show. I have to send out the text and invite people out to the meeting tomorrow. I also need to make some calls. Family, we'll be talking. We got to get ready for the Malcolm X Festival. Anybody else that want to put some articles in, you still got time. Let's keep on building. Let's keep sharing information. Let's keep growing. Oh man, shouts out to Brother Quasi, because Quasi got up on live yesterday and knocked out some push-ups for the days. That was dope. That was dope. I never thought about doing that, but now I'm thinking about doing it now. Uh-oh. So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe, I'm out. Aging nicely. Woo! You're aging nicely. All right, family. Go on. You have a great, great evening. And with that, I say a great morning. My fault. Peace. See you tonight.